Hey guys, and welcome back to the Movie Club Emporium, and be prepared to witness me as I ride shiny and chrome into Valhalla, because today we are talking about Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. And I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as I can, so that you haven't got to see it yet. Although, judging by the amount of just me who was in the theater for this afternoon screening, maybe most of you have seen it. I do know that the plan was for Nick and I to review this movie together. Both huge Mad Max fans, and so we were really super excited for it. He has not been able to see it yet, so unfortunately, we're gonna do this one solo. But I'm gonna see if he wants to shoot a video, and we can post it here as well. And if not, then definitely you want to check us out when we do our June live stream over at our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Movie Club Emporium. Because not only are we going to be talking about the great Roger Corman, but I'm sure we're going to talk about this movie as well. I hope so, because, well, you know what? Let's get into it. This movie was like number one on my list of most anticipated movies of the year. And Nick and I both said as much when we did our Mad Max knockoff live stream. And after seeing it, I will say this. This movie is probably the best looking movie I've seen all year. It looks fantastic. The action in it is second to none. All the acting, Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, all the other actors, knockouts, absolutely fantastic. But here's the weird thing. Okay, last night, in preparation, I rewatched Fury Road. Masterpiece, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. And then going into this movie, I was sitting there watching it, and I kept thinking to myself, why? This movie is great. Why am I not as excited as I feel I should be? And so there's some things to talk about within the movie, and then some things outside of the movie that I feel is probably why I'm feeling that way after seeing it. Again, it's a great movie, but I just wasn't feeling like I felt I should have felt while watching it. Number one, and call me what you will, this movie's too long. I'm all for movies can be as long as they need to be. You know, you don't hear me complain about the 3-hour Batman, 3-hour this, 3-hour that. That's fine. What is it? Almost 4-hour Who's the Flower Moon? The movie needs to be as long as it needs to be. However, this movie, because it is a prequel, you do feel its length. I mean, you like again watching, and I won't do this the whole episode, I promise. Going back, Fury Road ends, and you look down, and it's over 2 hours long, like 2 hours and a minute. You're like, 2 hours? No, this movie was 2 hours long. This movie is like over 2.5, and man, you can feel it at some point. Now, there are scenes in this movie that, in my opinion, rival the best stuff about Fury Road. There's an extended scene with the war rig, the first one they ever build, and it's new and shiny and awesome. And there's this extended scene that's freaking amazing. But again, so much of those scenes are kind of. There's a lot of lull in between, and it's a lull of we're doing a lot with the character. We already know what's gonna happen. Again, Anya Taylor-Joy as young Furiosa. Excuse me while I pick my nose on the internet. She's absolutely fantastic in this movie. She even has like this. She's even able to kind of do her own version of Charlie Theron's cadence for Furiosa. Not necessarily an imitation, but just kind of making her, but makes it her sound when she speaks. You see, you see both of them in your head. It's awesome, but she's not in the movie till an hour in. Um, and then we're just following little girl Furiosa, and then you're just kind of like waiting for like, okay, so all right, sit here until she gets older, okay, and then how does she get to be able to drive the semi? Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. How does she lose her arm? Yep, yep, yep. What makes her decide to turn on? Oh, yep, yep, yep. Like it, you're just waiting for the beat. Chris Hemsworth in this movie, he is absolutely fantastic as this new character, Dementus. He's kind of the new villain, which is weird that you kind of see Immortan Joe as a less villain in this movie. But Chris Hemsworth is great. My only complaint, it's not a complaint, it's something that once it hit my head, my brain wouldn't shut up about it. And so it kept taking me out of the film. Is he's doing this voice and he talks about on like some of the features you can see on online where he like partly my grandpa and like horse race announcers from like the 70s in Australia. He sounds like Nigel Thornberry and you can't unhear it once you hear it. And that's not a show that I grew up watching a lot of. My sister loved it, so I saw enough to know the voice. Of course, that's Tim Curry. Uh, there's even parts in this movie where his beard and kind of curly mustache are dyed red. He's Nigel Thornberry, and once you hear it, can't unhear it, and it was pulling me out of the movie. Um, and again, like I said, like the George Miller as a filmmaker is second to none. This movie is beautiful, beautiful, and it's all desert wasteland, and yet he films it like you can pause the movie at any moment and hang it on your wall. Like it's just an absolute beautiful piece of art. And again, like all the stuff with the cars and stuff, and you actually get to go to the Bullet Farm and Gastown, which you just mentioned. You're able to see those places realized, and they're fantastic looking. You get a little more of the Citadel, how it works. That's awesome. You get some characters that return. We get, of course, Immortan Joe. You get the accountant, the guy with the weird nose and like nipple play. Uh, Rictus is back, a little puffier than he was. I shouldn't. If anybody's puffy, um, they even kind of Tarkin Town, the old man who's like the bullet guy who wears like the bullet headdress. That looks fantastic. Um, the guy who plays the Immortan Joe looks just like him, like just a little bit like 20 years younger. It's uncanny. Um, it's just again you're sitting there waiting for the beat. And it got me thinking. Again, I was just sitting there going, "This movie's great. It looks all the things. It looks fantastic. Great set pieces, great acting, great characters. Why do I not feel as excited as I feel like I should?" And it honestly parallels with something uh strikingly similar scenario for me. So this movie is 2024. Fury Road came out in 2015. That was 9 years ago for you mathematicians. Go back 1 year from there. 2014. Simpler times, I know. But uh picture it. Uh myself, again, sitting in the movie theater, this time with Nick as he was down visiting. Uh and we're sitting in a theater for a movie we were both really excited about seeing. It's a sequel slash a lot of prequel stuff in it to a movie that we both adored. And it's Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which came out 9 years after the first Sin City. And I gotta tell you, I kind of feel the same thing I felt sitting in the theater all those years, 10 years ago now, watching that movie. This looks great. It's fantastic. As a movie, it's great. It's 8 years too late. Because, when after Fury Road came out, that was announced like, oh, we're doing a Furiosa movie. And I thought, awesome. Is it going to be Furiosa after the events of Fury Road? Or is it like, what, is it something offshoot of Fury Road? Like it's a prequel. You're okay, so events leading up to what happens, what causes her to go from like devout Immortan Joe follower to, taking the brides. And you just kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally you get it. And it's a great prequel to that movie. But it's too late. And again, I say that as somebody who really liked this movie. I think, and to make the comparison, A Dame to Kill For is not that good. Visually, it's stunning. It's not that good of a story. This is a much better movie by leaps and bounds. But I still felt that way of just being like, man, this movie would have been a lot better years ago. And now we're here with it, and it's kind of, I mean, okay, like it's fine. But again, I'm not feeling the way I feel that I should feel. That's not a tongue twister. So I highly recommend the movie. It's great. Again, it is too long. I think, especially for Mad Max. So this is why I really want to talk to Nick about it. Nick loves Beyond Thunderdome. Like that's his favorite, I think, or it's up there. To me, Mad Max always works best when it's just high octane, simple, just in your face action. Boom, here we go, and it doesn't stop. I love Mad Max movie. It's a little slow, but it's got to be to introduce the character and build you the world. The Road Warrior, perfect movie for Mad Max. Beyond Thunderdome, you have to go to these different things where we expand the plot a little too much. Where you're kind of like, don't care. Like, let's get on with it. Where it almost feels like a couple of movies because you have the Thunderdome stuff, and then you have like the kids, like Mad Max's Goonies. It feels like two separate movies. Again, Fury Road, we were back to the Road Warrior formula, and then this movie feels a lot like Thunderdome, where it's because we're having this again. You have a full hour of little girl taken, and then just watching her grow up, get to where she needs to be in order to turn into Anya Taylor Joy finally, and then the action really gets going. And they introduced new characters, like I said, I want to keep saying Dementor. But that's not right. There was no Azkaban. Dementus. There's a character named Jack, who's like the Imperator who teaches her how to become the Imperator. Like he's great. It's a great character. Um, there's a lot of people online saying because the actor has had uh surgery for a cleft palate that it's an ode to Stacy Keach's character in Road Games. Which if it is, bravo! Like what a wild pull away. Otherwise, it's just like, hey, it's just an actor, man. Like, why are we calling so much attention to it? Um, and you get it's just again, it's a movie that I absolutely thought was great. It just left me feeling let down, and then let down that I was let down. And it's not the stupid like I wanted Mad Max, not Lady Max, or that's all. That's stupid internet horse hockey. That's crap. Again, I love the character of Furiosa. Again, this movie is too long for a movie that you know exactly how it's going to end. The movie ends butted up against Fury Road, and then the credits play scenes from Fury Road. And so there's even a scene in the middle of the movie where, for no reason, it cuts to the opening scene from Fury Road where we see Max on the hill standing next to the Interceptor. You're like, that was happening while this was happening. It's a lot. It's overpacking for a road, like you know where you're going. Like, I don't need this much luggage. A simple flight. I know where we're going. I don't need 7 suitcases. So again, it's the most beautiful movie I've seen this year. It's probably one of the best action movies you'll see this year. It is utterly fantastic in every way. And that is what bugs me of why I feel let down by it. Again, I loved it. I can tell you right now, it will be on the top of my list, best of the year. There's no way it's not. It may even be like top 5. But again, I was just sitting in the theater going, I should be way more pumped for everything that's happening right now, and I'm not. And I don't know why. That's my review of Furiosa Mad Max Saga. Come back next week for another movie that'll confuse you. Because we're finally going to be able to talk about Love Lies Bleeding, the new Kristen Stewart movie. And then coming way down the pipe in a couple of months, you want to make sure you join us. Number one, join us this month over at our Twitch channel. Again, we're talking Roger Corman, our favorite movies of his. Plus, we're probably going to debate this movie because I'm very curious. Again, I'm so curious to see Nick's reaction. And again, if he shoots his own review, boom, we're popping it up here so we can get his take as well. So make sure you join us for that. And then August. Don't forget August. I know we're 2 months away. This is the 2nd of June. 2 months away. But in August, that's when we start our summer block party. I'm going to give you the first hint for it. Summer block party this year, which is our theme month for August. There's a theme for the theme month. That's right. Double themes, baby. Because nothing's too good for you. Or me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be weird. It's going to be wild. So make sure you are there. The best way to remember to be there, because again, that's 2 months. I'm giving you 2 months notice. And you say, Jason, that's too much notice. Listen, here's what you do. You down here, you click like, and then you click subscribe. Click the little notify bell. And that tells you, ding, ding, ding. Time has passed. There's a new video up. I mean, yeah, for 2 months from now, but it's also going to ding you every Sunday because every Sunday there are new reviews. And so here until then and beyond. So click the like, click the subscribe, click the bell. Come join us. All right, that's enough shilling for me. I'll see you guys next week where we talk about Love Lies Bleeding. Until then, keep all the guzzling you can carry. And I'll see you guys in the wasteland. Bye.